Why does your brain feel like it has to defend something nobody accused you of? You said no, that should have been the end of it, but somehow you're still talking. For some people, this pattern starts with a simple misread. At some point, a plain answer wasn't accepted at face value, it got questioned, doubted, or picked apart. So the brain adjusted, it stopped trusting short answers to do the job. That's where the habit begins. But here's what's strange: it doesn't stop once the explanation is done. Watch closely, and you'll notice something odd. The talking doesn't stop when the information runs out. It stops when the silence finally feels safe. That's the real reveal. It was never really about the listener. It's about what silence used to mean. For some people, a pause once meant a wrong assumption was forming unchecked, so the brain learned to fill the gap first before anyone had the chance to fill it with the wrong story. That's why saying, "I can't make it," quietly turns into a paragraph. Not because more words add more truth, but because stopping too soon feels like leaving the door open for misunderstanding. And that same fear doesn't stay confined to explaining facts. It quietly reshapes what a boundary is allowed to be. A no alone starts to feel incomplete, like it needs a reason attached before it counts as valid. So, no becomes no because not for clarity, but for permission. Put those pieces together and a pattern emerges. It's rarely about this one moment, this one text, this one conversation. Eventually, you're not explaining yourself to the person in front of you anymore. You're explaining yourself to every version of a moment where a short answer wasn't enough. If this sounds familiar, psychology doesn't call it insecurity. For some people, it's simply what the brain learned to do to feel safe being understood. But you don't have to earn the right to a boundary by making it explainable. Sometimes no is allowed to be the whole sentence.